Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Happy Thursday. Happy New Year, Chinese or Lunar New Year. Xin Yan Kuai Le and all that. I am Jen McEwen. I'm your host for our weekly UpRock calls, and this is number 38, hashtag data over everything. I'm going to bring up a familiar face, Jesse Adams. What's up,
Happy New
Jesse?
Year.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, yeah.
Do you remember how to say it in Cantonese? I forgot.
I did not.
Gong
Yeah.
Hoi Fat Choi and Xin Yan Kuai Le. So happy New Year, everyone. I hope you guys celebrate. You had a good time. Usually we have Christopher with us on these weekly calls, but he had an emergency this morning, so he won't be able to make it. So you just get us two today.
Yeah. He'll be on next week probably. So
yeah, he'll be on next week.
I missed you, Chris.
Yeah, we miss you, Chris. Okay. So our tag this week is data over anything. So I guess you know what we're going to be talking about. Hey, Bella, good to see you.
Spaceman.
Spaceman, familiar faces. I love it. All right, so we're going to go over some highlights. The Turkey crew was in Catstanbul, so we'll talk about that.
Was it? Yeah, people want to know.
Yep.
Curious minds want to know. Nice.
I'm sorry?
Yep, people want to know. Roz is here too.
Oh, there he is. There's Sir Roz.
Cool.
And then the topic of the day, data over everything, and Prism development update. And then we have a dePioneers update from the posse. And then we'll wrap it up and we'll get back to work.
Cool.
All right, shall we get started?
Yep.
Okay, so first off, we have, let me get my bigger screen for myself so I can see this. Okay, so yeah, Jesse, you went to DePIN Day Seattle.
Yeah.
And you met up with the IoTeX crew while you were there.
Yep.
So tell us about it.
And GeoNet was there too, a bunch of others.
GeoNet, yep.
Yeah, this is actually a cool space. So it's on the east side over here in Washington State, and it's a high production TV studio. People film games there, movies there. They do actually you can do a live broadcast TV show there. So the Kenzio Media hosted a DePIN Day. I was a speaker on that, and it was actually really awesome. So they live streamed the whole thing. I think we got up to our peak at over 80 to 85,000 live streamed. People are watching that thing. So it was great exposure for everyone who was involved. But that was a lot of fun. So they're going to do, I think, once a quarter. And I definitely recommend you guys checking it out. It was a full day event and a lot of good content. And now it's on X. So.
Did you guys, I'm sure you showed them around a bit since they were in our hood?
Oh, a little bit. Yeah, we had some happy hour afterwards. Not everybody. Yeah, some of them live in Canada and they had to fly right home. But
well, that's good to have people. Like, I love when there's more stuff, because for being a tech city, there's not a lot of crypto stuff happening up here.
Yeah.
And it's nice when we have like TF Labs, so they always host the Jonathan Blanco over there. He's always hosting crypto and Web3 and now AI events. But there's not really a lot happening here, so it's nice to see folks coming in. And tapping into this great community that we have here. That's just
Speaking of Zurin was there. She's also from Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
She actually attended. So what's up, Zurin?
Is there here?
Yeah.
Zurin, good to see you.
Yeah.
Rosman, the Seattle Roz there as well. So that's cool to see it.
Yeah, so we talked about DePIN, we talked about AI, we talked about IoT, infrastructure, cloud stuff, why decentralized matters with all of that. Aaron from IoTeX had a funny comment that went a little bit viral. He missed out on the Trump coin because he was on a date. So he's like, never again. I'm fully locked in from now on.
No more dating.
No more dating.
We're not worth it, guys.
Yeah, not worth it. Yeah.
I'm curious if anyone here in the chat got in on the Trump coin or the Melania coin. I didn't. I missed it. I was sleeping. No more sleeping for me, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
And you were on a plane, so I don't know. We can't tell you no more planes because we need you to go out there. Anyway, okay. Good morning, Valam. Good to see you. All right. Next up, we have Mizzle. So you're going to be in another space. So this is on January 31st. So that's tomorrow.
Yep, tomorrow.
At 3 p.m. UTC. Tell us about Mizzle and what you guys are going to be. Well, you're going to be talking about decentralizing digital infrastructure, hyper reality. I think I know your answer on that.
So that's 7 o'clock for me. I try really hard not to have meetings before 10. So I don't know. I'm not doing my own personal philosophy, but I will do it. So tomorrow's at 7 a.m. for PST. I think they're going to talk about the importance of decentralization in this world. So I think we're going to talk about that a little bit with DeepSeek as well. Is like
Mhm.
it comes down to bandwidth and compute. And if you really want to live in this world where AI is going to swarm everything, you're not going to trust that world unless it's the world's knowledge. It's the internet is all the world's knowledge. And so today it tends to always accumulate into a handful of small companies that keep it a black box. You have to just
Mhm.
trust that they're not manipulating data or manipulating compute or whatever they're doing with it. We don't want to live in that world. And the whole Web3 world was a kind of counterculture and revolution against that version of the future. And so we really want to decentralize all this AI and everything that's coming. And I think this is going to be the point of the talk tomorrow. I don't know some of the startups, but I'm always happy to be excited to be invited and give our take on the whole thing and why decentralization matters in this AI-driven internet. So yeah.
Cool. All right.
It's
Well,
7 a.m. for me, so that's really early. I'm a night owl, and so that is usually when I fall asleep. But I will do it. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll tune into that. We'll have the link when it goes live on our X, so x.com/uprock.com.
Yeah.
And so we'll all tune, and the team will tune in, of course. So we'll be there for that, and looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Although we know your thoughts internally because we all talk about it, but it's fun to hear you talk about it. You also, you're really good at speaking, so I feel like I get a lot of good instruction from listening to you. Like, okay, that's how I should word it, because I'm not very good at public speaking. So it's nice to hear how you word things, because I know what I'm saying, but I don't know how to say it very well.
Yeah.
So I'm not very good at that. So I like listening to you.
This one I'll probably do this talk. I'll probably not sleep that night, go right into the talk. And yeah, most expensive sleep ever, right? Yeah.
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 So it's either going to be amazing with delirium or confusing with delirium.
Yeah, it's the number one sphere. I mean, that's why actually, to be honest, that's a lot of reasons why I do so many of them, because I still get nervous all the time. So it kind of forces me to get better. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
If you know what you're doing, it helps. If you know what you're talking about, it helps. But still, I get nervous no matter what.
Well, there's these tricks, you before you go on stage. I used to do panels back when I was better at public speaking. But you go on stage, before you go on stage, you stretch out your arms like a starfish for like a minute before you go out there. And then when you are on stage, you make yourself very big. Just take up a lot of space, and then that like commands like how you're presenting.
Yeah.
And that's like not a tip for you, because you already know how to do that stuff. But other people who are listening, if you need to go on stage, or if you need to be on a space, just even if you're not being recorded, your camera's not on, just walk around with your hands out like a starfish, and you'll feel and sound like you got your shit together, because you do. All right. Yeah. Now, Catstanbul, the Turkey boys, they were in Istanbul. Some of them live there. Some of them are on the other side, a different side of the part of the country, but they all congregated together in Istanbul for Jupiter's Catstanbul. Nice. That looked like it was a lot of fun. So I have, they shared some highlights with us, so we could just share. I'm just going to run through their notes real quick. Well, one, Sir Ross says it was a very crowded event. He called it one of the most crowded events I've attended throughout my crypto journey. So there were over 1,500 attendees. And he made a note of this. There wasn't even meat left at yesterday's launch. He had to go vegan.
So sad.
Oh, sorry. Right. So next year, Jupe guys, is Catstanbul. I think maybe just a little bit more meat, but especially if you're in Turkey.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. There's no such thing as vegan in Turkey, I think. Yeah.
But it looks like the team got to meet with a lot of folks. So they met with the Jupiter team, chatted with Soju and Ben Chow. Kosh he makes a note, 10 seconds. So Kosh literally did not stop moving. He just wanted to just quick catch up, could not really get this guy pinned down. And it just made me think of this line, the line, the devil works hard, but Kosh works harder.
Yeah, Kosh is awesome.
That dude. He's like, yeah, he's always running around. It's always fun to see him too at these events. So on top of that, they also met with some crypto influencers. They met with IONet. That was an introduction from DATS, and they met with the DATS team. And then there's I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but it's WLU or WLU blockchain. And these are some nice thoughts. Their mission is to onboard uni students on chain. So we're going to keep in touch and see what we can do together. Not sure what that looks like, but they certainly made an impression with the boys.
Nice.
Met with the super team. So super team Turkey, France, and India. And here's some information for super team Turkey. They are looking for a new lead. And so we thought it'd be nice to give some support and help them find their new lead. So if anyone is interested or wants to talk more about that, hit us up on our Discord, hit us up on x.com/uprock.com. And one of the guys here, one of us here will help facilitate, move that forward. But yeah, that's a call out. They are looking for some folks. You'll have to, we'll have to like talk to looks like we'll have to talk to some other, the super team leads, because they're the ones who, I mean, obviously we're not making the decision, but we will pass along introductions.
But highly recommend the super team is, I mean, has a lot of support from Solana World. And if you're new to crypto, it's a great way to just make a lot of friends really fast. Because they're probably real connected, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's where we got, because like the Tufi and Roz and Ridvan, I mean, they know the super team Turkey folks. So when we first started UpRock, they were, they were already knew those folks, and like they really helped us out a lot. I mean, in the beginning and continue to. So they're just a really good team of people. Yeah. So yeah. If you are interested in working with them or joining them, I think it would be a great idea to do. And then Sir Roz gave a presentation of Prism. So at Unconference. So it looks like what they did is they divided the main conference into 4 sections. So they had live, DAO projects and Passion Zone. So he presented in the Passion Zone area. So it was nice to give that presentation. I think there was a little bit of maybe struggle with like hearing, because they had to lower the mic levels because of some sound mixing stuff. But it sounds like it still went well, and it was very, very good to present that. So all that information too about Prism, if you weren't at Catstanbul, or if you haven't seen the presentation, we have it on our website. So that's on prism.uprock.com for more information about that. And we'll talk more about Prism in a couple of minutes. And then, here's their final note. They pushed everyone into the conference room to long juke when Meow announced the 50% buyback from fees, and with a note, that was fun. So, I think that was just, no matter what's going to be fun, even if you were in the room. And I guess they ended it off with, so you see this cat here, this
like Burning Cat.
Burning Cat.
Yeah, I saw the videos. It looked awesome. Pretty epic.
Yeah.
They always do a great job. Yeah, no, I'm glad they were to present Prism, because this is our first time presenting it in a big conference. I did a little bit at the Solana event last weekend, but we're all practicing our pitch to talk about Prism now that it's actually out there. So that's really great for the whole team. And also just doing side deals, like side pitches, and getting people to actually adopt it and use it. So, this is kind of a soft launch with our community and people we know. It's not like you can go to the site today and actually put in a billing and actually pay for the product yet. And so we're just doing it with like private beta. So if you're interested as a partner to actually want to use this uptime service powered by DePIN network, please reach out. We are going to do a proper launch that, with the mainstream media, like actually put on Product Hunt, actually put it on Y Combinator News, put it out there with the Web2 community, ask the UpRock community to also help us. But right now it's kind of a soft launch, get people to get exposed to it, some private partners, and early partners, they're trying it right now to give us our feedback. And once we fix everything, we'll add the billing, and then we'll do a really proper launch with actually some launch partners. So that's kind of how we're thinking about it, how we're planning it. So just getting it out there and building in public and building with the community and getting exposure is always great. So we're going to get early feedback. So that was good for us. Yeah.
So we'll talk more about Prism in a minute. And in the meantime, if you if you just want to go ahead, you can, skip ahead. You can go to prism.uprock.com to learn more. Yeah. All right. The huge black cat looks Squid Game-ish. It kind of does, right? Like you just turn your head, that cat's gonna.
Yeah. If you sell your tokens, you just get assassinated. That's basically.
Okay. Let's go on to the topic of the day, data over everything. So there was some news some news, right? That's like burying the lead here. But so we had the world had some big updates. So DeepSeek
Yeah.
was launched, or was announced. Yeah, it launched this week, and really put everything in a whirl. I think it really affected the market. The stock market, like Nvidia went down, all that shit. But anyway, we thought between that and then OpenAI Operator, we thought we'd just talk a bit about about DeepSeek and how it affects AI, how it affects the AI industry, how it affects like Web3. You know, what is that? Like, what is DePIN in relation to something like DeepSeek that makes this so much more affordable? So we have this next slide here over that you tweeted, Jess. Sorry, let me make this big again here too. And you're talking about Operator, right? And this is why your personal AI agent needs to be connected to a decentralized real-time DePIN network. Can you go into this a bit more?
Well, okay. So we've been saying this for a long time. OpenAI, it's a black box. We don't know the data it's coming from. We don't know how they got it. We don't know what they're doing with it. But it's pretty clear that they're censoring it or there's some weird rules. This is why I don't tell you the truth. It's, and then Google's even worse. And you want an AI that's like constantly curious and wants to seek the truth. And so that's that version of the future we do not want. And the only way you can get there, I think, is to decentralize the data where the whole world owns the data. You know where it's coming from. You have millions of people participating and crawling the internet together. And feeding your AI agent, whether it's your personal one or for someone else, we all know we're all helping it. So there's not like one central entity deciding what data is to crawl, what not to crawl, what to black box, what to cut out, what to censor. So we kind of know that. Now DeepSeek come around and they're saying, wow, we're almost as just as good as the OpenAI models, and we've done it a lot cheaper. I don't know if that's true or not. I think they're hiding some of the costs, but China does move fast and we're very competitive. However, the same issue applies. So if you actually download the DeepSeek app on Google, I've tried it. So download the Google app and just try it. You ask questions that you know are censored in China. So ask words like, what's Tiananmen Square? Anything, just anything that's kind of controversial over there, ask it. And you'll see it think. It'll actually visually show you it thinking, and then it'll delete everything and say, sorry, I cannot answer that question. And so their app, even though the DeepSeek model is actually open source, whatever wrapper, whatever things they put in that app, they're obviously blocking the output final because they don't want to I don't know why they're doing that. But this is the problem of having a centralized authority deciding what you cannot see or what the AI cannot do. So can or cannot do. So we do not want to live in that world. It's great to have an amazing open source model. This is where UpRock comes in. We can actually uncensor those outputs. And so you can use a powerful model, whether it's DeepSeek or Hugging Face or any model you choose, but you want to be able to connect it to a network that you trust. So our vision for the future is that you're going to always trust a decentralized data network that's connected to your agent or another companies to their agents versus a centralized black box data, which is what DeepSeek and OpenAI's apps currently do. I just think you're always going to want that alternative. No matter how powerful Google and the rest of those guys get, how much compute power they have, the data is where it matters. And you're not going to trust that world unless you know it's coming from the people, because it's the people's knowledge. And so the only way you can do that, instead of having a VPN business or a proxy, that's not going to be enough when everyone's going to have thousands of agents, for yourself even, and just going to be a whole swarm of them. There's not going to be enough to just connect them to a VPN or like a central proxy company. You really need millions of people, millions of nodes to actually work together and allow these agents that are going to work on your behalf to become superhuman tools for you, but then also superhuman crawling ability. So be able to crawl the internet at scale and get the data that's open, that's already open, not behind a paywall, but just do it legally. What's open out there? Grab the data, synthesize it, and provide you superior outputs and insights that you can trust. So check it out. Like for all the hoopla they're doing, if you download their app, it sucks more than OpenAI because it actually deletes things constantly. It just doesn't want to get involved with controversial topics. It'll actually, you can see it thinking. It'll actually give you the answer and then it'll just go away. It'll say, sorry, I can't answer that. It's very Orwellian, actually. It's kind of weird if you haven't tried it. I don't know why they make it so obvious that they're deleting things, which is why it's silly.
Well, I watched you do it, and I am not. I don't want to install it on anything. if you do install it, ask a couple questions just because you're curious, and then I would uninstall it. But didn't it come out that it was basically just ripped off of OpenAI anyway?
Who knows? I think they could have reverse engineered it, or
Yeah,
both. Like we're never going to find the answer to that, I think. But
yeah,
yeah, who knows? I mean, they're so competitive. They're probably watching each other's work. I guess if I was them, like billions of dollars on the line. But more importantly, like who actually wins here when it's open source is all the people and all the startups. So that's a cool part of it. The fact that they open sourced it is great. So we can run with these models and then build our own decentralized, uncensored versions of our own apps and dApps and tools, and connect them to a network that actually can unblock the internet. So
yeah.
yeah.
So well, it sent the AI industry in a tizzy this last week. It really did just validate the need for DePIN. And as Sean Carey, who is one of the co-founders of Helium, he's also a partner at Borderless Capital, who is our lead investor and was participating in our pre-sale round, and also bought into UpRock.
Yeah.
Line here, the whole idea is you need devices all around the world to understand the information around the world. It drives home the point that you just made. Like, it's data hungry and it's garbage in, garbage out, right? So if you have censored data and it goes into a black box and it gets further censored, then you're going to have a censored output.
Yeah.
But the way you combat this is with things like DePIN.
Yeah. And then also you need real time. So the current models are all genius children that lived in their basement. And they're, like that's what all the models like. They have no idea what's happening in the real world. And so you need these models to actually learn more about what's happening all the time in real time to actually provide real-time relevant insights. Like for example, the Trump election, you can read the news and maybe any model today can kind of scan the top 10 headlines and know that Trump won. But if you really want to know more details of like how do people feel about it, then you're going to have to crawl thousands of conversations. Like, how do people feel about both sides? What's the sentiment? That takes you're not just opening one or two browsers like any human can do. Like any agent can just open one or two browsers. But if you want your agent to actually say, hey, how do people feel about this in this location, this city, this country, around the world, that AI agent now needs to crawl thousands of conversations and sites that are on social media or websites or comment sections in news. At that point, it starts to get blocked, right? You just cannot do that currently today because the glue is not there to actually crawl the internet like that, like a database. But if you want to be able to have your agent actually, and then take actions on it. So if you get the sentiment of how people feel about something, that's how then you can decide whether you want to buy a stock or make some decision that depends on where you want to spend your time or money. Like it's so much more powerful when you have more information. Any kind of moves, just so you can get more insights, the more you can. And this is why AI is so amazing, because an average person cannot crawl 1,000 comments and then comprehend it all as fast as possible and then make a decision. And so this is why DePIN is amazing. Not just that these models know what's the current, all the world's knowledge has already been kind of scooped up, but it needs to constantly know what's happening in real time so that the AI knows the real time events, and then also how does the entire world react to those real time events, all the time. And then I think you're going to see some amazing AI agents do some awesome work for you while you sleep.
Yeah. So there's DePIN, and then there's mobile DePIN. And Jess, you've talked about. I like how you explain like what the extra power of a mobile DePIN. Can you go into that again?
Oh yeah. So I think the other cool thing about this DeepSeek open source model is it's getting more powerful, and maybe not quite there yet, but very soon these models can run on your phone. I think there's going to be a real, because you don't know when you download the DeepSeek app, the permissions they're long, and so they're going to gather everything you do, maybe even like watch your keystrokes. I don't know, you just don't know. And so there's going to be another alternatives out there that say, hey, not only is the data decentralized, but also whatever data that you're building up between you and your agent, you own it, and you can delete it anytime. People will probably charge you for that because storing data is expensive. So whether it's decentralized storage options or AWS, whatever, at least you know it's yours. You can move or delete it. So I think there's going to be companies who say, hey, whatever model you use, we're going to make sure the data is decentralized so you can trust the output, but also it's your data. And if you want to sell it to someone on your like marketing company, you can. But by the way, no matter what, it's yours. And I think being able to run models on your phone will let people trust it more with more sensitive information, like reading your medical records. If you know it's not going to a server, if it's just on your device, then you're going to use that agent more. But you're still building up some data between your agent, because that agent now storing some of that the analysis of your medical records. But at least it's on your phone. It's not going somewhere. But maybe you replace your phone. Maybe you want to put on another device. Those are going to be another opportunity for a company to say, hey, here's an easy way to keep your data encrypted and keep it around on any device you own. And here's a tool to do that easily. That's a little bit hard right now. You might use Dropbox or something like that, but it's really not that easy to take an AI agent, data you collect, you build up together, and then transfer it device per device. It's not that easy today. Yeah. But that's an opportunity I think that will come.
Yeah. All right. Well, so I'm curious if anyone in the chat or anyone listening has tried DeepSeek in the past week, and if you have, I'm curious what your thoughts are with it, because I have not mustered up the courage to try it yet. I want to get it locally first. I don't want to put it on my phone, but I'm curious what you think of it. Seeing you play around with it for a little bit, Jess, I was like, yep, okay, it's going into the black box.
Yeah.
The data's going into the black box and getting scrubbed for sure.
The UI is cool, but you just
yeah.
All right. It is really fast. Yep. That's true.
Yeah, it is fast. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's fast at deleting stuff. Deleting answers to controversial questions. But it is, yeah. Okay, moving on. We have some product updates. So we have the new UpRock.com page. So go check that out. It's just better explanation of what UpRock is, what it does. We are going to be adding some more things into it into the homepage about Prism.
Yeah.
And just more better instructions. So that's just slowly getting updated. Home screen is updated because I think before we were just, we kind of honed in better our messaging, right? Over the last 8 months. So we're being more clear about it and better screenshots of what's actually in the mobile apps, what's available for rewards, what's available for businesses, Prism being that solution. So anyway, go check that out. Let us know what you think. Hop on the Discord. I think we saw some comments already. So some good comments. So thank you for the accolades, but go check that out.
Yeah.
That's live now.
We will add we need to add a section that shows the kind of the infrastructure, or the kind of like schematics of how the whole network works, and how the kind of tool-sided business, how they help each other. So we have the B2B side and consumer reward side, the whole network. So we're going to add, I think, like a really useful visual diagram, put on the homepage, and then link to the Prism site, because a lot of people are very curious what DePIN means. And we kept the website a little bit more consumer friendly, but we do want to explain the bigger vision better. And I think people will really understand why this is so powerful. So not only are you earning rewards, but you're helping to build a better internet. And I think we can explain that a little bit better on the home screen with a nice visual of how the community and the businesses and networks and the DePIN devices, how they all work together. Yeah.
Yeah. Right? Yes, definitely. That's we'll be doing updates and updates and updates on that.
Yep, cool.
And Drew asked, are we doing work to the referral landing page? Yes. So we're also doing work in the dashboard. So after you log in, so we're doing work on that. We're also doing work on updating the staking flow, as well as updating the wallet UI or just experience.
Yep.
As far as in the apps, we do have the referral updates coming. We have a design ready for the apps, but we have other releases that are going out before that. But that is in the pipeline.
Yep.
Yeah. So as with everything, the first a lot of things. So the first changes happen on the website first, and then refine it from there, and then we move it onto the mobile applications. So staking link in the app. So right now, so staking is in development on the applications. Oh, let me just highlight this because Saso asked. Saso, I missed staking link in the app. So that is in development, and then we have. So I know you can see the screenshot there. So that's in development. That's coming out shortly. But right now it's in web. I guess I gave a little bit of alpha in that screenshot there, didn't I? Okay. All right. So moving on, we've got an update with DATS. So as I said, the team met up with the DATS crew. I always like to say, DATS, what's up? Over at Catstanbul. So we've got updates to the desktop application, and the mobile app I think Android is actually last on this one, which is, usually for us, it's Android first, but desktop and iOS, and Android's coming out. Or actually, I think it already is out. Anyway, you're more eloquent than I am, Jesse. Show the DATS. Be the DATS.
Well, that's what's up. So DATS is awesome. They're a fellow DePIN partner. They're doing some cool stuff with the agents too. If you follow their X, it's at DATS Project. So the team met in Istanbul, at Catstanbul. So they have customers that are going to hire them for cybersecurity tasks, and like pretty much stuff like load testing, make sure their site's secure, speed tests, make sure uptime tests. These are kind of tasks you want to do from real devices for customers like banks that want to make sure their site is secure, that it's loading properly, that if someone were to attack it, it actually stays strong and doesn't go down. And how best to do that is through a nice mobile network that actually of real devices, of real humans testing it out, make sure it's up, make sure it's fast, etc. So this is real revenue. So this was a harder project than we originally realized, but it's actually looking great. We're sending tasks. We have a call with the DATS team tonight, the founding team, and then we're going to start ramping up the tasks like right after the call probably. And this is real revenue. So you guys are going to see a pretty good impact on this, because we are going to use this revenue to buy back UPT every day. And it's going to be amazing, because this is huge. So really excited for these guys. It's been a long time coming to actually start really turning on the revenue faucet here and have these cybersecurity tasks distributed through the UpRock network. So yeah, I'm super pumped for this. It's a solid use case for DePIN, and actually will make money. So I think that's for it for now. Like we'll share more as we start ramping it up. But honestly, the best way to prove it is just to show you the amount of UPT burning every week is going to increase all the time. Yeah, that's the best way to show it. And then you can actually start seeing the DATS task is being, you'll start seeing in the actual earn rates too. Yeah, that's the best way to see it. So.
And I know that Chris really wanted to talk about this one this week, because when we were on the live stream last week afterwards, he's like, "Oh, okay, next week let's really get into the DATS," because he had a lot he wanted to share. He and all the engineers or the engineers on the team that were working on DATS did a lot of hard work on this, and they're very keen to talk about it. So we didn't get, he had emergency this week, so next week he'll hop on, and I'm sure he's gonna want to talk a lot about this one. So we'll get into more next week about it. But in the meantime, we're going to have some red flow here.
And this is important, because, the meme coins and the Trump and all that does kind of suck liquidity out. But DePIN is strong. And like I said on the call last week, that this is the year where really the true DePIN companies that are building products has to show what they're worth. Last year was about building up the network and the supply and getting funding. A lot of companies got funded and building up the network. Now you have to prove it, that there's actually a demand for the data that you're building up with the community. And so this is what we're showing. And we are startup mode. So the revenue that we can get from the games and from companies like that, and also from the uptime monitoring from Prism and some of the partners we're talking to at Catstanbul, it's significant enough that will make an actual serious, you'll see it. You'll make a serious dent in the tokenomics, because we are new, and right now the volume is like, any significant buys will be a huge positive impact. Yeah, so really exciting for that. This is where where we're actually going to show it. Like why we've been building for so long, and why it matters, why it's hard to do. But once you can actually deliver it, it will make a positive impact. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Lauren. This is our mission, and appreciate you. Yeah, pump it. Yeah. Okay. So whether you like it or not, I guess the silver lining with all the meme coins, it is bring more mainstream people into crypto. I forget how many new wallets came out just because of Trump coin. it is at the end of the day bringing mainstream and retail to crypto. So it just hope we doesn't scare them away, because I don't think Trump will dump anytime soon.
Yeah.
What
did you say? Did you just say like 73% of, or something, a super high percent of the people who bought into the Trump coin was the first time?
Yeah, it's something.
Did you get that number somewhere?
Yeah. So I think that's good. But yeah, just keep. So anyway, so I think the main thing is like we're really excited about Prism. We have actual customers, so like we appreciate everyone's support. Without you guys, it wouldn't happen. So this is where it's all coming to fruition.
Yeah, very excited. Okay, so then now moving on to Prism. So this is another enterprise product that is always been part of our mission and is now coming. It's materializing here. So you could head over to prism.uprock.com to see this. So this is our global distributed uptime monitoring network.
Yep.
This one needs a DePIN acronym.
Just call uptime.
GDUMN is not going to work. We got to think of something for this, but or you just call it Prism. Maybe we can make Prism like Google made search. Google's the word for search. But anyway, so this is Prism. We're starting with the uptime monitoring network, and Ross put this together. It was very interesting. So just as a background of the average cost of downtime per industry. So the estimated downtime cost for Solana is 9.75 million to, well, this is a huge jump. 9.75 million to 97.5 million an hour. Wow, what a jump. Jupiter 1.46 million to 4.375 million per hour. And then in different sectors, we're looking at 90,000 an hour, 673,000 an hour, 1.1 million for retail, telecommunications, 2 million. The energy industry costing 2.4 million an hour for downtime. And so this is what a signal of like uptime monitoring is essential for any business, or for many businesses, most businesses, and being able to monitor like when am I down? Businesses pay a lot of money for this, and rightly so.
Yeah, the uptime and just this kind of like just monitoring the performance of your network is $1 billion industry, and because like everyone wants to make sure they're always up, and the last thing you want is your customers tell you first. So you want to be able to have a proactive engineering team that knows, with the help of AI or help of a network or tools, to know that your site is down as soon as possible. Take action, understand why it's down, and why and that means you need to know, like, was it because servers are down or whatever the information is. You need more information, the better, and then take action as fast as possible. This is why it's such a huge business. The Web 2 way of doing things is you rotate a handful of servers around the world. The Web 3 way of doing this, you can actually know exactly how your site is doing in 190 plus countries around the world, in thousands of cities, because you're actually loading those sites and URLs on actual mobile devices, like the actual edge layer. This is on the phone, where people actually, majority of the world are using their phones now. That's it's a mobile first world. And so this is why it is a superior product. Status pages powered by DePIN is superior than Web 2. You can see and by the way, all this infrastructure we're building to do this uptime and speed test, what's actually happening? It's like a headless browser that's opening a website in the background, and then all the data we get from that, how fast did it load? Did it actually load? What network was it on? All those things get sent back, and then we send a report, uptime report, and people can see how the performance of their site is doing over time, and then they can have a real-time status page. So, and if they want a public version of this, you can always see how is Solana doing, or how Jupiter is doing, or how is Reddit is doing. They all have a status page that's powered by some kind of performance monitoring company. I think the DePIN way is far superior, but if you think about what's happening there, it's loading some kind of some URL and then passing back some HTTPS information, and some kind of network information. That's the same infrastructure that we need to also do web collection or web scraping and other kind of DePIN powered data sets. So like after we're doing uptime first, we're doing speed tests first, we're doing paid, this kind of product first, but Prism will eventually also become a place where people can pay for a web scraper API. So if you want to hook up your AI agent to the UpRock network and get decentralized, uncensored data from any corner of the earth, on any corner of the internet, you'll be able to do that. And so it's really the same protocol, same network is everything we're building is leading up to that as well. But yeah, so if you go to prism.uprock.com, we have a really nice, you can actually go through a demo. It's an interactive demo, so you can see the dashboard. We haven't opened up to the public where anyone can actually create an account yet. Like I said, we're doing that with like early partners and testers and people we know, the companies that we already work with. But if you're a company right now and you're interested in this, we'd love to hear from you. And then we're going to do a really big push and have a proper like 20 launch partner marketing campaign to say, hey, we're actually live now. Put it on ProductCon, put it on the other main Web 2 tech sites as well, and do it properly. So yeah, so you can check that out now. This is some comparisons of other companies out there. So Pingdom, Uptrend, Status Cake. There's also Uptime Robot. These are all companies in the web. They do kind of Web 2 versions of them, and you can see, maybe have 200 locations, 60, 700. They maintain themselves. It's very expensive, so they charge a lot. Like I said, DePIN way is a far superior way, because now we can say we have millions of devices helping check your network and your sites and your servers, and to make sure that how healthy they are and performance matters.
And a mobile DePIN, mobile first DePIN is even further the way to go.
Yeah, and we might be able to even do a combination. Some people might want to still know how it runs from a data center, but like we can answer questions like, how fast is your CDN really? Like if you want to know, you don't want to load your CDN from a data center, like how fast did it actually perform on 1,000 actual phones? So you can actually prove it better through a DePIN network, stuff like that.
Yeah. And here we have a comparison here too. Ross put together this great competitor analysis. So here we have so we're doing an analysis between our Uptime, UpRock, BetterStack, and Pingdom. So I mean, just looking at global coverage just alone, because we're mobile first, so that's very quick to get on a bunch of devices, real devices, right? 190 plus countries. The other 2 limited regions. Distributed monitoring, as we've been saying, 2 million devices. Yes, we're distributed. Others are centralized. Real-time alerts for like blockchain-specific latency tracking, custom metrics, fully customizable, where the others 2 are limited. We have SDK and API support included. Pricing is more affordable. Because this stuff is downtime is costly, and getting the solution can be very expensive. But we have more affordable tiers. And I can't see this last slide. That's the last one here because my controller is in the way, but we have the innovation. Yes. Again, like we've been preaching, DePIN powered scalability, where the others are more decentralized approach to this. So I think a lot of stuff that's happened that's been coalescing in the past 8 months is just really proving why DePIN is the way to go. And when it comes to monitoring, uptime monitoring, I don't think this is the answer for it. And Sean Carey, one of the co-founders of Helium, he's been preaching about, he's been saying this for a long time, like DePIN is the way to go. I mean, they're the ones that, they're the OGs here, right? So,
Jen, and when you say real time or DePIN powered scalability innovation, other thing too, think about this. When you say 2 million plus devices, they're not just devices. Like in BetterStack, Pingdom, Uptime Robot, they have servers. Those are just machines. When we say devices, we're actually talking about the community here. And so when in the Web 2 way, you're going out, you're buying machines, you're buying, maybe you install your SDK on some apps, get people to download your free VPN. That's how you get your network maybe. In our case, we're building up a community. So not only they're helping power the network, but there's that's hundreds of thousands of people online talking about UpRock, talking about Prism. And basically it's like the whole community is helping to work for your bags and sell the product with each other, And so Pingdom, BetterStack, they don't have millions of people going around talking about Pingdom. They don't have millions of people talking about BetterStack. And so the Web3 way is just overall just far superior, because now you have millions of people using the app, talking about UpRock, and you say, how's this power? It's data's new oil, et cetera, et cetera. And here's how it's powered. Here's Prism. And so those conversations are going to happen way more in the Web3 way. Right? So just a lot more word of mouth, a lot of people talking about it. There's people probably listening to this stream right now that work for a company that's going to probably need that would probably prefer to switch to Prism, you know. And so it's just we maximize, and like this exponential opportunity here is we get a lot of people to talk about Prism, and everyone works for a company, I bet you, that is using some Web 2 inferior version of this right now. And so the more and more this gets better, like just V1, the better and better we get, you're going to say, hey, I work for a company that we actually use something, we use Pingdom or we use whatever. We totally switch to this. This is why also DePIN is powerful, because it's community powered, community built, and we just all work together to make this successful. And you know, and so we're all incentivized to make it work, right? So that's why it's cool. Yeah, and like I said, there is no one out. There is no alternative, because till DePIN actually came out there, this was not possible. You know, this is why it's powerful with DePIN. There are a lot of DePIN use cases out there. We have not seen. There's a ton that are focused on the web scraping. There are a ton that are there are a lot of them are doing decentralized compute. You know, that's GeoNet, IONet. There's a ton of people doing the compute side, and they're very focused on desktop and GPUs and all that. And then there's there's very few mobile. And then even further than that, there's very few mobile that's focusing not just on web scraping, but other things you can do when you have a decentralized data network. And so I believe we're the first ones to do uptime, a Web3 version of uptime.
And VDM is hyped. And if you're not hyped too, you got to get hyped. Because, and like what you just said, law of winning here, right? You have better insights, lead to faster problem detection, which means it's cheaper and leads to better scalability, and all that shared value in the community.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
It's a new way to do it. Anyway, go check that out. It's so I'm sorry, let me finish my sentence. Check that out, prism.uprock.com. And we've shown the demo to Prism to a few companies, and the feedback has been all positive.
Yeah.
And not, I mean, that's just kind of like making it like tamping that down a bit. I mean, not just positive, like ecstatic. Like people are these folks are very excited about this solution that we built. This is the point. We'll have like amazing launch partners. So if you guys, if you know, like UpRock community, if you know companies out there that you think, they'd love to be part of a launch partner and be part of the marketing around this, let us know. Also a reminder, we do have grants around this too. So yes, that's true.
So, and we partner with amazing company Blue Wave. You know, they're an open source contributor. And so some of this stuff is based on the Checkmate project, which is open source projects. And so we're really great partners with them. We have a grant program here, so reach out for that. But if you have a company, we are going to, as we get closer to opening this up to anybody, we are going to have some strong launch partners, and anyone who's part of it will get a lot of exposure. So, let's do it big. So if you know any companies, or if your own company wants to be interested in that, let us know.
Jess, why don't you drop the URL for the grant program?
Oh, yeah. Okay, 1 second.
Well, you can say it out loud too.
Probably easier to just post it.
But anyway, Laurent already shared Parcel. Maybe Parcel would be interested in using this for real estate marketplaces. The scraping tool. Anyway, if you have people that would be any companies, yours or anyone that you think we should look to or reach out to. I want to hear it. But like Jess said, he's gonna drop it in the comments. Here we go. For the grant. So that's checkmate.so/grants. And
then we have a second one. This is a little more so this one's specific to B2B side. So if you we're so far we have a proposal for an AI agent to analyze uptime data, which is awesome. And then we have we'll do grants for like web scraping coming like now. So if you from our experience, web scraping is very difficult, and you kind of want to specialize depending on the industry. So if you have if you're interested and you have experience making web scraping agents for e-commerce, or and even that gets specific. It can be just for like Walmart. It could just be Target, because they're all different. It's just different specialties. We want to move fast, so we definitely give grants for those. And then the second link, this one, is for both the B2B side and consumer side. So if you're interested in AI agents for the consumer rewards or App Store, or anything to help improve the UpRock apps for the community, I think we have 30 applications already here. So we're still reviewing them, but that's on more on the consumer side. And if you're interested in Prism specifically, then go to Checkmate one. Okay.
Great. And Sasso asked, do we have a Prism flyer to send to companies? You know what? That's a great idea, because you say here that you can send in your country to top companies. That's awesome, Sasso. Thank you.
Yeah.
We don't, we'll make some. Yeah, because we have the presentation, the pitch deck, so we can consolidate that into something that's more easy to share.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we'll put that out. Thank you for the suggestion, and thank you for the offer. Really appreciate that. That's really cool. Anyway, so that's Prism, guys. We will be talking more and more about Prism as the weeks go by.
Partnership with Koi.
Partnership with Koi.
Yeah, that's still going. They actually they just launched their tokens, so they've been super busy. We're still working with them. Big thing with each other is on the web scraping side. So now that Prism is out, the next step for us is actually because they have a lot of customers that want to be able to collect data from the internet, and they have Koi is still very focused on desktop, so I think they're at 100,000 nodes now. I don't know. They're doing a great job on desktop, a little light on mobile. So we need to actually we just need to follow through and get that done. So like I said, uptime is first, but the same infra that actually powers uptime, that same program is going to power web scraping, and so that's coming next. And then the Koi partnership will actually finally come alive. So those guys are awesome. We still talk to them often, and we have a shared Slack room, so we're constantly working with them. So thanks for asking about that, though. And I think their token just went live recently. So yeah, congrats to them.
Congrats to the team. Okay, so that's all we have for UpRock updates this week. We'll have Chris back. Chris will be back next week. We'll go into more about DATs, and then as always, like from now on until the end of time, we're going to be talking about UpRock Prism. So we'll have more and more for that. And for now, we have a reminder from the posse. So DePioneers is looking for some more teammates. So if you are interested in joining the posse as, like, let's say a moderator, a content creator, if you are a developer, like in particular React, like front-end development for React, and you want to join, please hit us up, because we are looking for more people to help us with DePioneers. So you can hop over to the DePioneers Discord. And the person to look for would be Late for Work. That's Tim. Go to x.com//DPioneerCats. That's plural, KATS. And you'll see the Discord link there. And Tim also wanted me to share that, or actually not Tim, I just noticed this, but the DePioneers is also doing a social task airdrop. So head over to Discord for more information on that. So that will be fun. Little quick social task, just like something, or, do a little retweet or something. A very simple one button tap, get your airdrop. So
yeah, the cool thing about these NFT DAOs, if you do a great job and build up, and it's people want to launch their products through the DAO, and so it's a nice way to get a little bit extra residual tokens or income or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so why not? Yeah. So other announcement too is the GeoNet. The GeoNet partnership is coming alive. So what's amazing about them is that part of the pool is going to buying GeoNet tokens. Their token is doing very nicely. And for anyone who wants to join the DAO officially as one of the DePIN tokens in the pool, part of that is they actually provide what's the word, like a good deal, like we're getting basically a community buying discount on the GeoNet token. So we're going to get a nice bonus of GeoNet tokens along with the market buys they're going to do with them, and they'll have a really strong partnership. So they're doing great things. Like I said, I saw them last week on Saturday, and that's going to be just amazing for the pool. So the value of just instantly with that purchase, the value of DePioneers will go up just because they're going to be very generous with their bonus. So yeah, we're talking to a few others about that. And we are hiring. We found one part-time person to help with some of the website development, but we need more support. And this is the year for AI and DePIN. So we want to do big things with DePioneers. We want to make it the premier DePIN DAO place where you go to learn about DePIN projects. We want the website to focus on that a lot more than it does today, and then also really beef up social media to really highlight all the cool stuff that's happening in DePIN.
Yeah, yeah.
Do that just way more than we're doing, and because we and just get the community more involved, because right now it's kind of like us, but we do have UpRock to focus on. So we really want to incentivize and get people to say, this is a DAO. This is not just us doing it. We want to make it Knights of the Round Table. You know?
Yeah,
Let's get
yeah.
together. So
and it's elevating DePIN, not like just like wait for an airdrop or something. Like it was an elevating.
Airdrops are like icing on the cake. Like,
yeah.
It's so funny when people complain about airdrops or free stuff. Like, guys, it didn't cost you anything. You know, like, it's fun. It's fun. If you're a DAO worth paying attention to, people are going to give you free stuff, and so just take it. You know, it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
But really, the meat and potatoes of DePioneers is it's a DePIN DAO. We want to actually, we actually want to find value in building a pool that's really highly correlated to really awesome DePIN projects. You know, that's the whole point of it, and then get early access to the best ones, and as a community, have community purchase power to the best projects. You know, this is a bigger vision of DePioneers, but the airdrops are like icing. So let's elevate DePIN together. DePioneers is a great place to do that. You know, I know that we want to do more like streams like this with DePioneers. It's just a matter of like finding the time and the people to do it. So that's why we're doing a cat call. So if you want to join the posse, help us out with that. Like, help the DAO. Like, let's grow. Yeah. Just in general, it's like do our part to like help grow DePIN. Both with on UpRock side, we're building on DePIN, but then on the community side, like raising awareness of all these other projects. Yeah. And people you should may want to pay attention to or meet. So and by the way, the NFT, because of the hybrid approach, of the NFT, when you buy the NFT, people are not aware of it. You get a collection. It's actually a ticket that says you own a pool of DePIN tokens, including UpRock tokens. The sell pressure is really low. 90% of people who buy an NFT actually stake them. It's almost like a stake node for us. We treat it as a validator, like it really feels like a stake, like a UPT staking node. Because of that reason, we actually send staking yields. We actually send UPT to the pool regularly every month. So just by holding NFT, if you're bullish on UpRock, by being a DePioneers NFT holder, you will see every month the number of UPT tokens increases constantly, because we treat it as a staking node, because it really feels like that. You know, it's like people hold on to those NFTs, which is awesome. So just a reminder there.
VDM, you got 2 cats staked. Nice. All right, guys. Well, okay, so that's it for the. Oh wow, hey, we are getting so much better. Well, I mean, maybe this week. 58 minutes and 32 seconds. An hour. All right, we're getting good at the timing. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us. This is our weekly call. We'll see you this time next week. All right. And have a great day. Back to work.
Yeah, back to work. See you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. See ya. Bye.